You're listening to the Lone Star Gridiron Sports Network.
The Calallen Wildcats weekly press conference is brought to you by the Calallen Touchdown Booster Club. The Touchdown Booster Club exists to support and promote the Calallen High School football program by uniting students, parents, coaches, and the community.
All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Coach Charlie Reed from Calallen to the show. Coach, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, and I imagine you're good. You're sitting at 5-2, big win against Valley View. Talk me through that one.
Yeah, no, our kids, came out, played well, and thought we played a clean game, and there's a lot of things that we kind of talked about leading into that game that we wanted to accomplish, and I think we did that in all three phases. I thought offensively we were efficient, didn't run a whole lot of plays. I think we only ran 41 plays in the whole game, but a lot of that had to do with, we had really good field position. I think our average starting field position was the plus 49 yard line. And, anytime you can do that, good things are going to happen. And so that's a credit to our defense and special teams. And, special teams wise, we wanted, our goal last week was 3 big plays, whether we had 2 block kicks, we had a block punt for a touchdown and had a block field goal, and then had a big return on a punt return. And so, I thought our special teams really played well. And then defensively, I thought those guys played well. And the good thing is we were able to get in all of our guys. And I think we kind of talked about it in last week's show. Anytime you can, get your twos in and get everybody in, I think it continue to develop depth and but it's always good to get all those guys in.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like you just kind of jumped on them early and just never let off.
We did. No, it started out well. Got the ball first, and I think it was a 4-play drive and punched it in, and then defense, again kicked off. Talked about special teams and field position, pinned them inside the 20, and got a 3 and out, and then forced them to punt when they punted, blocked the punt, in the end zone, and scooped it for a touchdown, and so it's 14-0 right off the bat, and defense got another stop, and then offense came on and took it down and scored, and that was kind of the trend in the first half, and got a lot of our subs in the second half, and we talked about it at halftime. Doesn't matter who's in, the standard's still the same, and still want to go out and execute, and I thought those guys came in, did well, and so it was a good game for the Cats.
Yeah, definitely. And talk about the importance of controlling your own destiny and starting off 1-0 in district.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest thing is, first goal is, win a district championship. You got to win the first one. And, kind of talked about it last week, and you got a small district, and, you only got 4 district games. And so everyone is critical. And, especially that first one, both teams, it's kind of a new season. Both teams are, 0-0, and everybody's fighting for the same thing. And so to come out and play well that first, to get that first district win is big. But, like I said, I mean, you got 4 district games, and so everyone is really, really important. But yeah, I mean, to be able to accomplish things that we want to accomplish, had to get the first one under our belt, and obviously got another big one this week.
Yeah, let's talk about that one. They're also 1-0 in district. So what do we know about Colosso Midway?
They're a good team. They're a really good team. Got a lot of good players. Kind of starts off with their running back. And he's a dynamic player. He's a really strong kid, physical runner. He's when he gets out in space, he's trouble. And I think they've got two really good running backs, and they'll put them both in the backfield and kind of go both ways with them. And I think the quarterback is is a really capable player, does a good job as far as extending plays and when a lot of your concentration is on those two backs, he does a good job and in the read game and they do some stuff as far as misdirection, away from those two guys. And so, they've got, a big offensive line that I think does a good job as far as coming off the ball. So, we got a big challenge, from a defensive side. And then, I think defensively, I think they do a good job. I think they're sound in what they do. I think they tackle well and they run the ball well. So it's going to, they're a good team. And then, on top of that, you throw in, it's a big rival game. And so it's, both teams are going to, this is what makes Texas high school football so great is these kind of games. And so, it'll be a fun night, Friday night.
Nice. And where do you say the kids are in terms of the development and where they should be? Are they on pace? Are they ahead of pace? You still got work to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're on track, and I think we're on pace to, we're not, we haven't played our best game yet, which to me is a good thing. There's still a lot of room to grow and get better, and that's the deal. Is, I mean, you get in the grind of the season, and I think the teams that continue to find ways to get better and that are hungry to continue to show up to practice every day and be intentional, and not just kind of go through the motions. I think those are the ones that you really see, are playing, their best football going into playoffs and then make long runs. So I think we're on pace. It's kind of where we want to be. Are we a finished product yet? No. I mean, there's still a lot of things that we've got to continue to get better and tweak. And even in a game like last week, I mean, there's a handful of plays that we've got to clean up and we've got to, sometimes it doesn't show up when you win 42-7, but those are things that if we want to accomplish the goals that we want to accomplish, that we've got to continue to clean up.
Nice. And what do you do as coaches to keep things from becoming kind of routine for the players and keep them motivated, keep them activated?
Sure. I think number one is we talk, when we come in on Saturdays to watch film and after the games, whether it's after a win or after a loss, you've always got to be critical of yourself. And, we watch film to not admire the good things, but, we got to find the things that we've got to continue to get better. And I think sometimes that's, it's tougher after a win than it is after a loss, and you come off a big win and you think that, everything is great, but there's still a lot of things that we can continue to get better on. I think just number one, pointing those things out. But number two is I think, there's a standard at which that we have to prepare and we have to practice every week. And that standard doesn't change. There's some things from a competition standpoint, some good on good stuff that we do in practice that I think, keeps us, hopefully playing at a high level. But, again, I think it's, just, week to week. I mean, it's a new opponent, it's a new week, and you got to approach it that way.
Nice. And speaking of week to week, how are the kids health-wise?
I think we're in good shape. We got a couple guys banged up, but for the most part, I think we're in good health. And like we've talked about before, I mean, at this point in the season, and especially we haven't had an open week yet, and I think everybody has a few injuries here and there, but I think for the most part we're in good shape, and kids are ready to go.
Sounds good. Well, once again, congratulations on the Valley View on starting 1-0 in district, and best of luck this week.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just someone striving for more success in life, The Winner's Workshop is your secret weapon. Yes, this award-winning course has transformed thousands of lives, teaching the game-changing principles of sports psychology that Fortune 500 companies, coaches, and top performers all use to win. The Winner's Workshop, subtitled How Sports Psychology Can Make You a Champion, is now available on CoachTube for a fraction of the original $499 price. The Winner's Workshop will help you master focus, mindset, and breakthroughs to make you a champion. Click on the link in the show notes or head over to LoneStarGridiron.com and click on the ad today to unlock your full potential.